Hi and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Claire and my channel is all about planning, living authentically, and gently taking the steps you need to shift your life into the direction that you ultimately want it to go. So today I'm talking about living in authentic alignment. So what does that mean to me? It means that my day-to-day life is aligned with what I feel my true purpose is, what I feel called to do, and that I'm starting to eliminate the things that are in my day-to-day life that don't sit right with me, that don't feel like they're in alignment. And then also doing the inner work, so reflecting on what are the things that I have been chasing in the past that I am chasing solely because as I'm growing up in this society, the messages being sent to me everywhere are, you need to progress, you need to continue to progress, go up the ladder, you need to have an amazing career, you need to own a beautiful home, you need to own a beautiful car, and all of these materialistic messages just to keep you stuck in this day-to-day pattern that's not necessarily aligned with what you actually even want. And in my case, I found that it's definitely not. A lot of things that I have been chasing, that I have been gunning for, I'm realizing more and more that the level of significance they actually would have on my life and on my well-being and my happiness, it is a lot less than what I've previously thought it would be. And I think that's a case of when I have X, Y, or Z, I'll be happy. When I have this, then all of these problems will be solved, and so on and so forth. And I think it's important for us to start to question that a little bit and think about, rather than what do we feel like we want, what we're chasing blindly, how is that going to make us feel? How is it going to improve our lives? And how is it going to sit with us? So when I think about what are the things that I would want to see in my life for me to feel like my life is truly in alignment with who I feel called to be, what my soul's purpose is in this time here on earth. And that looks a lot more like having a hobby farm, having an animal sanctuary, being able to run my own business and spend my time creating products and helping people and creating some sort of difference in this world and guiding people towards happiness and living in their own version of authentic alignment in whatever shape that takes for them. And as you can tell, that's definitely a path I'm heading towards, and it is not all going to be magically mine at once, but it is something I'm actively putting energy out in the universe to attract into my life. So what I would love for you to do is take the next 10 seconds or so, think about what have you been chasing in life? What do you feel like you desperately need? And it's more a sense of desperation rather than a peaceful want. And so what have you been kind of chasing blindly with that panicky, urgent feeling? And then think about, what do you think your ideal life would look like if you were living in 100% authentic alignment with what your true purpose is? So not thinking about, is it possible? Is it impossible? How would you do it? Anything like that. Just if you were to think about your perfect life, what would it look like? What would you look like? What would your surroundings look like? And most importantly, how would you feel? So how would having that life make you feel if you're in 100% alignment with what you feel called to do in this life? And I will kind of pause. I'll give you 10 seconds, 15 seconds or so just to close your eyes and think about that. All right, and I would love if you can share in the comments both versions. So what are you chasing right now because you feel like you need it? And what does your ideal life look like if you're thinking not about feasibility, but solely what feels right to you? And then what I would love for you to think about is, what are these steps, no matter how tiny, that you can start to take to bring elements of that dream life into your current life? So maybe if you are wanting something that is to do with art and creating, how can you start to bring art and creation into your day-to-day life more intentionally, more frequently, and more joyfully, to start to have those elements start to become part of your regular life right now as we are? And break it down to tiny steps. Don't think about big picture. Don't think about, oh, when I get here, I don't know what I'm going to do to overcome that boundary. Just think about, what can you do right now to start to, attract small elements of that into your life. And over time, if you're doing these tiny things that seem like they won't make a big difference, they will gather and they will kind of continue to grow, and the impact of them will continue to grow over time, whether it's weeks, months, years, but you will be heading in the direction that you feel you were called to go in. And I promise you, even if you don't do that, the time is going to pass anyway, and you're going to be no closer. So even small progress, it does actually compound and have an impact a lot more sooner than you would expect, because time seems to go so quickly. And maybe it's something tiny you're doing and you feel like it's not making a difference, and then maybe 3-6 months down the line, you look back and you think how far you've come, and there is actually a huge difference between the two places in your life. So that is what I would love for you to take the time to do and sit and reflect on. And please do share in the comments. I really do want to hear kind of what you came up with and how this exercise was for you. And as always, if you are able to like and subscribe, I would surely appreciate that. It really does help me out. And I am wishing all of you a beautiful week ahead. Thank you.